Familiar Show. I am your host, Nhat Pham, and alongside me is no Digital Knight, no CRM Guru. A couple things happened. CRM Guru was going to be our guest, but had some personal things come up. So we'll be solo today, but still have a great show for you today, because today is Monday, September 29th, 2013. Got a great show for you today. A lot of cool things going on. We're going to be talking a little Apple. Of course, you know me. Got to be talking a little Apple. Going to be talking some Google Plus, some Twitter, hashtags. Hashtags. You really need to pay attention. If you're a business out there, you need to pay attention to some hashtags, because I think that's critical to really jumping into conversations that you want to jump into or should be jumping into, depending on your business. And we're going to be talking also other things like the iPhone 5, a couple of neat things going on there. We are going to be going over some cloud-based things and a term that you might not have heard before, clicktivism. What is clicktivism, and why that isn't a bad thing, okay? And then, of course, your free segment of the day brought to you by the Successful Social Media Dashboard. I can't show it to you today because we're gotten some technical snafus. I think today is like snafu day, something, because I'm having some challenges. I think my colleagues are having some challenges, but we're going to all work it out, okay? And, of course, like I said, we're going to have a great free segment. If you're new to the show, please sign in, interact with us, ask us questions. It's free time to get some advice, all right? Let me look at the show. Let me see if I can get into the show. Where is the show? There it is. And please, right in there, ask some questions. Let us know what you want to know, or comment, give us some feedback, and love to hear from you. All right, let me just kind of give you the show topics for today, and we'll get the show started. First, foremost, of course, Apple. You know, it was kind of funny. My little girl said to me this weekend, Apple must be very successful. I'm like, why do you say that? Because everybody has an iPhone, an iPad, or an iMac or something. And I'm like, you're pretty smart cookie. And she's very smart, because they just released a report. Apple is now the world's most valuable brand. And that's impressive, because Coca-Cola had stood on top of that pyramid for the longest time. Apple has overtaken Coca-Cola and has an estimated value of $98.3 billion. Just the brand. So if you wanted that brand, you don't get anything else. You don't get all their facilities, you don't get anything. They can still take their computers and call it, I don't know, pear, banana, whatever it is. You don't get anything. All you get is that Apple brand. That's it. And maybe all their web properties, I guess apple.com, twitter.com/Apple, and all those type of things. But there's that brand value. So let me kind of go through some of these things. Google now is also, I tell you, the tech world is just taking over. Google has leaped past Coca-Cola as well this year, and they have an estimated brand value of $93.3 billion. Just a few billies behind Apple there, so still pretty impressive. Followed by Coke. Coke's fell down to third at $79.2 billion, and IBM is at $78.8 billion, which is shocking. I'm surprised IBM still has that cachet it does. I guess worldwide and amongst a lot of corporations, it does. So what does that mean to you? Hey, how do you build your brand equity, brand value? And some of that, or a lot of that, is actually the interactions you have with your products and services. But a lot of that's also can be established online. Now, are you going to be able to establish a value of billions, or whatever the case may be? More power to you one day. I don't know about us. We got a long ways to go for that. But what is the brand value online in your community? And those are things to always consider. And doing things right, because, you know, a lot of folks say, oh, well, we get this kid to, I don't know, create it for, you know, logo for $100 or whatever it is, and really understanding how powerful it is and the meaning behind it. I talk a lot about Simon Sinek, start with why, and really understanding that why and how does that translate into a name, a logo, a brand. And we actually talked about that online. We were redoing our website, and that was one of our key things is, hey, how do we have a good reflection of our brand? And it's not just what people perceive of it, in the offline world now. It's also the online. What does your website look like? What does your social media look like? So, we talk a lot about that, and we definitely want you to kind of keep those things in mind because, who would have thought Coca-Cola would ever drop as the most valuable brand ever. So, moving on. Speaking of Apple, the iPhone 5, 5S is really starting to blow up now, and now with the 5C too. I'm a little nervous about how that's perceived brand-wise, but hey, I guess there's a lot more powers that be that know what they're doing, and I'm sure there's a lot of stockholders that are driving that. But I think that devalues their brand a little bit, but it's going to be much more accessible to the masses, and maybe that just puts a stronghold into the Apple presence. But I know they had to do something because of folks like the Samsung, which is built on Android, and it's really taken over the mobile side. Some things I'm a little surprised at. There's some people out there still using a lot of BlackBerry. Between BlackBerry and Windows Mobile, I think the most crucial thing, if you are a business out there, how does that play into your applications? Because for us, one of our colleagues had to get rid of their Windows Phone. They like the user interface with Windows Phone, and they actually got an application that can navigate similar to that, but they had to get rid of it because there's no Instagram. And us being a social media company, she has to do it on Instagram. So we left that Windows platform just because it didn't have an application that we needed. And it was a simple one, like Instagram. Need my Java today, especially going solo. All right. So what does that mean to you, that $99 iPhone? In some ways, because of the cachet of Apple, you may want to consider, a lot of folks have been asking me lately because I have that past of the wireless industry. Now you have an opportunity, particularly for your sales force, to get them an iPhone C and arm them with the applications that they might be using. So something to consider. I haven't played with it. I'm not a lower tier guy, so for me to get a C is like, I don't know, that's not like top of the line, even though I don't have the S yet. I go basically every other iteration these days. I don't have to have the hottest and latest and greatest like I used to. Part of it because I'm doing less, okay? Doing deeper things, concentrating on one thing more, but I'm delegating more, thank God, or I would go insane. So a couple other places, if you just need an iPhone 5 as a replacement though, some different ones that you can go, that you can have buybacks out there. Oh God, I need to flash you the screen. It will be keyed up on the YouTube version that our man behind the scenes here, Tyler's going to put up there in the next day or two. Okay, but you can get some buybacks, some really nice buyback prices for the industry, in which you might be able to get it more on the open market. But AT&T. Where is it? AT&T is, if you have an AT&T phone, it's the most valuable between AT&T and Verizon. Buyback is $300. The reason why versus Verizon and Sprint, it's $275 and $225 for Sprint. The reason why is the demand. It's much more of a challenge to unlock these things these days. So AT&T and T-Mobile have a bigger market. It's easier to unlock. It's GSM, so people worldwide can get these, and between those two, probably a little stronger market to be able to buy. All right, so keep those things in mind. The chart will make a whole lot more sense if I can show you, which will be on the YouTube version. Okay, let me jump back real quick here. All right, going next on the topic is Where's my tabs? It's so much easier with somebody else. I mean, they do their thing, and I can look up my next topic and so forth. And I'm trying to keep all these tabs open so I can relay it back to my man Tyler here. All right, one of the things that I want you to encourage you to do on the Twitter side, Twitter's becoming huge, is really get active on Twitter. I know people have been really holding off on trying to jump in Twitter and how that's going to affect their business. And even on the B2B side, with all the content marketing out there, you really need to jump into certain conversations to be able to get people to look at your content. Okay? And one of the key things is hashtags. And hashtags are the little tic-tac-toe symbols and essentially threads of conversation, right? Really hones in that conversation. I relate it to a old TV show called Get Smart, and gives you cone of silence, right? Really noisy on the internet. How do you hone in on those conversations? And it's a tool called hashtag, and basically if you look at Twitter feeds and you see that and you hover it over, it's probably blue, some type of blue, and you can click on it and it just puts all conversations relevant to that term, whether it's hashtag social media, hashtag usually a conference hashtag, so people can kind of really focus around that. And what that allows you to do is follow the conversation, even if you don't follow the person or the person doesn't follow you. So you don't have to be friends or connections like on LinkedIn and Facebook to be in this conversation, okay? It's all threaded, okay, weaved together, interlocked together by this term, preceded by a little tic-tac-toe symbol we call a hashtag. And for those who already know what that is, sorry for kind of be elementary about this, but I know there's a lot of folks who still are trying to wrap their heads around it. And it's really important to understand not only to have hashtags, but what hashtags is really relevant to you, all right? And how to cross over hashtags. And you may have more than one hashtag. So you may have your main, say for instance, particularly in conferences, that conference hashtag, and then maybe another spin-off hashtag. You know, when Ben was here, maybe CRM or social CRM. Those type of terms that's going to hone into what you actually do and what people may be looking for. So keep those things in mind, and the reason why I say this, as Twitter starts to prepare to go public and go IPO, the power of the second screen is really something to watch for. Even on a conference level, you know, they say if on TV, the more Twitter watchers there are, people tweeting about a show, the better the ratings. So how do you get more people to tweet? And if you notice, a lot of TV shows will have like The Voice or and the, you know, NFL or the Major League Baseball right now has hashtag postseason, because as people tweet about it, it's basically advertising for it. To get people to kind of think about baseball or whatever that thing is. And you know, for folks who are running conferences, and I'm part of a lot of conferences, I speak a lot of conferences, really pushing out people to tweet. I think it's going to be stronger particularly on the front side of the trade show, to be able to get people there or participate or buy tickets, whatever the case may be, extra sessions, okay? And it's not always the amount of people tweeting about it, but sometimes the volume of tweeters and influencers. If you can get that over time, it's going to drive more audience, drive more people, and then drive more buzz, and whether it's things at the event or at the conference, or kind of build up for the following year or the next conference, because I know, you know, folks at InfoComm have several different conferences that I spoke at earlier this month. And to be able to really drive Twitter conversation, I think it's going to be huge. Well, it may be first screen really, but it's still the second screen, right? I mean, even though there's no screen there, you're watching something live, and you know, you have secondary attention. All right, how do you drive that? And hashtags are going to be big, and how do you drive that to your constituents, whether you're in business, at a conference, whatever the case may be. And piggybacking off of those, okay, will be really, really cool. And if you really watch out for that, as you know, the rise of Facebook advertising has just kind of become a staple, if you will, in advertising, particularly for early adoption and for technology type of things. And a lot of consumer products. I see it more and more with B2B products as well, particularly software. So keep an eye out on that, okay? Now, how does that tie into overall information or causes? Because there's a lot of cause marketing out there for businesses. We're working on getting involved in a cause ourselves, and they call it, what is activism, but it's called collectivism, because you're getting people to click on things, whether it's to donate, spread the word, and so forth. So social media, of course, is one of the most powerful ways to spread it quickly, but doing it smartly. So, hey, how do you jump into that? So online activism has gotten stronger and stronger, and they come up with this term called collectivism. And a lot of times the perception is, when you drive, mostly everything, the activism online, isn't as powerful. And that's not always true. I think the powerful thing is making it easy for people to participate initially. Once, I say it all the time in my talks, little yeses leads to big yeses. So when you get people to click on certain things and watch things and share things and like things, I think it's a little yes to get them involved and be aware. Because I think it's an opportunity that otherwise wouldn't have to join that cause or participate in that cause. So collectivism is something that, while maybe not be engaging as, maybe going out and building a Habitat for Humanity house or whatever the case may be, it's that one step for awareness, involvement. And that one step of awareness, involvement will help you get them to the next step, which might never have been before, okay? To get people to that next level of really activism, of doing things, it's a lot tougher jump than you realize. So how do you get people to do that? Okay, and how do you get that maybe involved in their business? I know one of my friends and colleagues who we bounce ideas off all the time, Mark Smith of Midas, he does a great job of getting people to do that by offering some of his services in oil changes and so forth, to participate in Bloodmobile and feed more and those type of things. So that's that one step closer in what they have termed collectivism. How do you get people click on it and initiate? All right, so that's that one there. And a couple of segments. I didn't prepare for having this much content because I was going to have Ben here. So I'm going to jump really quickly here, if I can find it here, into the free segment of the day, brought to you by the SuccessWorks social media dashboard. And let me pull up what my free segment is. If you give me a moment. And while I'm doing that, I also will check online and see if there's any questions. Thank you. You know what? I'm digging that, Tyler. Dropping all that stuff in there for me. I don't have to do it. All right, I'll keep that in mind. I don't have to keep looking back and forth. Now you can tell me if there's a question I can jump on and answer it. All right. Where is it? Help me. I'm going to skip that to today. Oh, one other thing is, before I get into the free segment, Google+. All right, we haven't talked a whole lot about it, but please make sure you keep an eyeball on it, because it's still going to drive SEO and social SEO. Get that on your blogs and on your site, and try to get a few +1s on it. We've been slacking a little bit. It's back on my radar to do some of those things. So be sure to stay on top of the Google+ world. It's gotten a little bit of an uptick. They're doing, between Facebook and Google, they're making a lot of push this month, or the coming month, for National Bullying Month. So they're trying to get a lot more traffic there and a lot more awareness on that topic. Okay? And where is it? Where's my free segment of the day? Okay, let me just pull it up and get ready to be able to talk about it, because I didn't have it all set up. And I know it's something Ben was going to cover. We covered it briefly before, and it's more a freeware. It's a tool called Nimble, okay, and it's more of a trial now, but it really helps you kind of link up all of people's social profile. You can type in their emails, and all of a sudden, bam, it pulls all their social profiles together based on that email. And if for some reason maybe they might have used a different email, it's pretty smart at guessing, you know, showing you 2 or 3 different profiles to be able to pay attention to. Okay, this integrates into various third-party integrations out there, I believe Salesforce and things of that nature, but pretty cool tool. I don't know if it's worth $15 a month per user, but it's a pretty neat tool to check out and see if it's useful for you or not. If you are in the B2B world, I think this is actually something that's actually even more useful than the consumer side, although it has its nuances, depending on how big the purchase is. If you have a ton of people with little purchases, you really need a community manager at that point, and then yeah, they can have a tool like that. But it's some work, and how do you pull it all together and put it into your CRM and filter all those things? That takes a lot of scaling and a lot of strategy to pull together to make it all make sense and make it all worthwhile. Beyond just the $15. $15 is really nothing in the grand scheme of things, but what are you going to do with all that data? Okay, so what it does is it helps you pull a number of connections together into different profiles. So this is where you get really into the social CRM. Again, it's called Nimble, Nible.com, nimble.com. It helps you be nimble, I guess, in the online world. Okay, so we're going to be cutting it short, a little short today. Again, Ben Merritt had some really cool CRM things, and we'll bring them back here soon so that he can share some of those things as well. Again, if you have any questions, put it right there in the chat box. I'll answer them real quick. I'll stay on a couple more minutes. Otherwise, you can reach us at roadwarriorshow@gmail.com, roadwarriorshow@gmail.com, and we can answer some questions there as well. Got a great show for you next week. Thank God Digital Night will be back from his long paid vacation, and he'll give us some insights of what he's been doing. A lot of cool things in the hardware side of his world. He's kind of texted me and shared with me a few things as well. So, till next week, same that time, same that channel, 9 a.m. Eastern time on Mondays. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, friend with me on Facebook, circle up on Google+, pin on Pinterest. I almost lost that one there, Tyler. Follow Sean when he's around at TagVA. Follow me at Nhat Pham. Please mention me so I can follow you back, because a lot of times I get these random Russian follows and I'm like, I'm not going to follow you. So mention me and I promise I'll follow you back. Until I see you online, be mobile, be successful, and stay social. See ya!